Hello everyone. This is Maria with mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome and thank you so much for being with me here today. So this is another pre-recorded video for our global stamping video hop, and I just want to remind you guys that this is an amazing group of Stampin' Up demonstrators around the world that just want to share with you tips, techniques, and just really amazing cards. So after you're done here, please go down below. The other hand, go down below where you will find the list of the other demonstrators that are part of these video hops. So that said, I want to remind you guys we are almost done with Earn to Redeem, and there it is. So you have all of July to get your coupons. And I just want to remind you guys, it's a $5 coupon per $50 purchase. And so I just like these continuous sale and offering and making it easier for you to get some really good quality goodies. We all know there are tons of other stamping companies. Most of them are really good, but hey, Stampin' Up's got a name on quality, and so I just think again this is a great opportunity to save some money for next month. And if you are a demonstrator, then you'll be saving that money for to pre-order for the mini catalog, and I am one that I'm super excited about that. So the second thing I want to show you guys is for the month of June. This is the gift I'll be giving you if you buy with me $50 before shipping and taxes. So that's what you would get on top of a little card and of course my heart for and thank you. So I hope that if you don't have a demonstrator and you find something in Stampin' Up or something that I'm going to share here that you really want, you go ahead and go to my online store and get some really cool goodies. I am not going to make any more announcements because I'm trying to make these as short as possible, since I think the card may take us a little bit longer. So hopefully that's not the case, but I have a feeling there's a few things that we're going to be making today. Of course, let me go back in here. Hey, there I am. Goodness. Okay. All seems to be working properly. So today's or this month's theme is resist embossing, right? And I don't know how much you know about resist embossing, but to my knowledge, right, my not perfect knowledge, is you do some heat embossing with Versamark ink and a powder, and we'll do that in here, and then you do something on top of that, and that will still show, right? I love resist embossing, you know, for what? For like snowy scenes, so you can totally stamp with the Versamark in white and then go over with your blending brushes, and then the snow will be there. So it's one of my favorite things to do. That's not what we're going to be doing today though, but that is the principle. Okay, now because it's me and I kind of like fun folds, I just can't help it, guys. I want to share with you a card that we've made in the past. It is a front center step card, and that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and start with the cutting of the card, and then we'll move into the embossing piece. Okay, so I have here a piece of 8.5 by 5.5. This is an old retired color that we're going to be using today. Okay, the cardstock I'm going to be using today is black, and that's why I'm using some other color that you hoping that you will be able to see better what I am doing. So the first thing we're going to do is on that 5.5 side, we're going to put it against the top of the trim, and we're going to line at 1 1.25. If you're wondering, yes, I will have all this information, all the measurements down below. Okay. And so I'm going to align here at 1. There's where my 1 is. And I'm going to cut all the way to 4 1/4. And what I like to do, guys, is put my finger here so I can actually kind of like see where it's at. It is clear to see. I hope you can see a little bit, but I just want to remind me that that's where it's at, and so that's what I'm going to do. And here's 5 1/4. Okay, so again, you align at 1 1/4 and cut from 1 to 5 1/4, and then we're going to move to 4 1/4, and oops, there it goes, to 4 1/4, and then we're going to do the exact same thing, guys. And this is already in 5 1/4. There it is. And so all I'm going to do now is go all the way to 1. And I'm just making sure that went all the way to 1. I have like a 16th left. There you go. Maybe more. No, there it is. We got this. Okay, so now we're going to turn our piece, our card base, and we're going to start scoring. Let me put this in here, maybe it's easier. And we're going to start with where the cut lines are shorter or closer to the edge. That's what I want to say. So closer to the edge. And we're going to align at 1. And we're going to score between the top and the cut line. And we're going to move all the way to the bottom. We're going to score between the bottom and that cut line, okay? And we're going to move to 2 inches, and we're going to do the exact same thing, guys. We're going to do score from top to the cut line and from the bottom to the cut line. Now we're going to move to 4 1/4, and this one we're going to change. We're going to score between those 2 score lines in the middle. Okay, I mean score lines, cut lines. So between the 2 cut lines in the middle. And finally, we're going to go to 5 1/4, sorry, and we're going to do the same that we did before, which was from the top to the cut line and from the bottom to the cut line. Okay, that is in essence what a step card is. I'm going to move this out of the way for 1 minute, move our piece, and I'm going to bring my black piece because this is the one we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and fold this, bring in my bone folder, one of my good friends, right? So to me it's always easier to start in here because this will fold that middle area, but then you really need to push this one before doing any like putting it all flat, and then this one. So we're just doing it slowly, helping here and making sure that we don't damage the card base. Okay, and there we go. And now I'm going to bring my bone folder, and we're really going to crease all those folds. Okay, and I'm going to move these a tiny bit, open these is like what I'm trying to say, and I'm going to fold these in here. Okay, and so now this is what our step card looks like, right? These will fit in a regular envelope because it measures, and again, I always put this for whatever reason in the centimeters, but this is a regular 4 1/4 by 5.5. I have let me grab this. This is an envelope from a paper pumpkin kit, and I just want to show you that it will fit. Oh, this is even open, so this is so funny, but you can guys tell it fits. Yes, I was working with my paper pumpkin kit alternatives. If you are new to this channel, I do paper pumpkin kit alternatives every Friday at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Okay, so we have the card. Boom, it's ready. We're going to put that aside for 1 minute, and we are going to I'm bringing my Misty. Okay, I did make a mess there. I hope that mess was not too terrible. And I'm sorry about the glare here, guys. It looks awful. I'm so sorry about that. And this is where we're going to start with the resist embossing. So the first thing I'm going to grab my little toolkit from Stampin' Up, and I absolutely love these. This little toolkit is so useful. Let me move this there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to open these, making sure you still see what I'm doing. The first thing is we're going to use this little pouchy thingy, and we're just going to make sure that we cover all the area that we really need in order for this to look, to like be or powdery, so the embossing powder does not stick to other places where we don't want it to stick, right? So this is a very important tool. And then the second thing we're going to do, and I just missed my Versamarking. There it is. I always misplace stuff. If you've been here before, that's nothing new. So as you guys can tell, I've used it a lot. It's probably in need of a replacement. So let's go ahead and really emboss these pieces, and really ink well our pieces with the Versamarking. So I just want to say, guys, this is one of the reasons why I am using the Misty, because especially with the Versamark ink, which you will see here in a minute, it has no color. It's colorless, and so it definitely helps if you feel that you did not apply enough, and so you can reapply. So that's one of the reasons we're doing this in the Misty. The other one is that way it helps me having to stamp just one time instead of several times. Okay, and let me see where I'm going to move this a little bit, and you can't see it there, but I am seeing that it may need another round. And so because I'd rather be safe than sorrow, is that how we say it? Well, I am doing another round. It takes no time. It'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so again, we're going to press in here. And then we're gonna check it out. It seems like it's perfect now, or good enough. I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna bring first my very well loved, as you guys can tell. And then we are going to move this out of the way so it's not in our way. And I forgot to mention these, guys. We are using today the Spotlight on Nature stamp set. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we are going to bring our little clippy thing. I forgot the name of it. And I'm going to hold this. So it's just so much easier for me to apply the heat here in a minute, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead. And this is black embossing powder. Guys, you see the, oh no, you can't see the mess. Well, I made a mess, which is nothing new. This is black embossing powder. I love embossing powder. I love the technique, right? Whomever came up with this, it's a genius. Let's just face it. I have a little extra in this side that is not getting any love. And so let me move this in here. Okay, now I'm going to bring this out because this has a little bit of it, and I'm going to click this. And if you do that, it just helps remove all the unwanted black powder. And I don't know if you can see, but definitely my little butterfly needed some extra love there in the middle. There is nothing I can do now. I'm bringing my big rug here so I can kind of clean these out. Because it's already stamped and I didn't see it ahead of time. But it's fine. It'll be fine because we're going to color those pieces. So as I was starting to make this project, I realized that I actually do not have a whole lot of images that are actually totally black, which is what would have been better for this kind of technique. So we're going to do two types of resist embossing, one with the blending brushes and another one with the with coloring. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to bring our little wrapping thingy, and we are going to heat emboss this. And I'm bringing my heating machine, my heating tool, and we're going to go ahead and heat emboss this. And what is happening is that it is melting that powder, and it gets into a plasticky look. And let me show you here. Let me show you up close. See how cool that looks? Now you can see almost like a shine on it. You see? And that means it is all completely heat embossed. Okay, so I'm going to put everything back in there, and we're going to go ahead and do our emboss resistant here. So I did this in a video a couple of weeks ago, and a week ago, and I just want to do it again because it's very useful. So I think that if you are new to blending brushes, or you're not sure what you really want to achieve, right? Like, okay, so my card, I really wanted a like a sunset kind of setting, right? As you can probably tell by this, but I was not sure which colors to use. And so I decided that I was going to try. So I just cut a little piece, right? And I play with it. So this one specifically, this one has Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, Moody Mauve, and Blackberry Bliss. And then at the end, I actually put a little bit of Peach Pie all over the piece in here, and I don't know, you can't totally see it, and I think it looks much more realistic. So this is one. Now the one I like the most is this one, and this one is actually Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and Blackberry Bliss. So, you know, a couple of oopsies there, but I'm okay with that because this was obviously a try, and I like it more because it's more vibrant, right? And I feel that when I put the whole peach pie around the piece, it kind of like made it look a little bit more, I'm not sure what the word is. It's more realistic, but it's kind of a little bit brownish. So I am going to go with these option, and that's what we're going to do now. Before anything happens, I want to bring out, so I told you we're going to be doing a couple of things. So I cut from the circles that come with these bundles, Spotlight in Nature. I cut a circle in our mask paper, and if you don't have that, and I totally recommend this, guys. This is called Stampin'Up masking paper. It is amazing to do what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to bring these, and this circle is going to be covering my let me move this a tiny bit, my butterfly. I want to lower it a tiny bit more. Okay, so the top of my butterfly is at the top of the circle. I'm actually moving these a tiny bit. No, it's going to be fine. Okay, so that is the first thing. So what I am envisioning is kind of having the sun, right? But obviously the sun is always much lighter, right? So we're going to work on the sun later, and we're going to build on top of this. The next thing I'm going to do, guys, is I already have, because I used it because I was working with my other card, making another card, just to make sure that my concept makes sense. And so I have already do the masking for these, all of them. So I cut in. Obviously, you guys can tell. So I'm going to put all of them around. Now, if you don't know what I am doing, just in case. So what you do in these cases, guys, is you stamp on that masking paper I showed you, and then you cut on the edge. Look at this. This is pretty on the edge. See? So I stamp and cut on the edge. Let me make this so you can actually see on the edge, like different to fussy cutting, because you always leave a little bit of like a tiny edge on it, so but not in here. And I just cut this, and I am placing these in pieces. And because these stems, the stems are white, totally white, right? And so that is very important to mention. The stems are totally white. The stems are totally black, so really we don't need the stem to be covered, and it does create mayhem, guys. It's a little bit more complicated when these are with the stem. So I cut some of them already because, again, like this one is kind of creating some mayhem in here. And what I do, honestly, let me show you here for a second. What I do is I save them in here. I just glue them there. Well, not glue them. They have sticky. They're sticky, right? So I glue them in there. And I just keep them for another occasion when I want to do something similar. So this is what I am doing right now, is putting back those pieces here that we are going to be working on. Now, I did say earlier, I just don't have a whole lot. You guys are going to totally laugh at me, but I just don't have a whole lot of stamps that are just silhouettes. That one broke, but that's fine. I am a very much a coloring person. If you've been here before, that's not news, right? I do love coloring, and so I am a coloring person. And so what happens is that I really, because I enjoy coloring so much, I rarely ever buy anything that is a silhouette for whatever reason. So anyways, that's the explanation. I'm gonna bring this out here, guys, and I'm gonna cut that because I don't want that to be in my way. And okay, I'm aligning these again. All I'm doing, guys, is putting those masks, those kind of stickers on top of the on top of what I had stamped already. I'm not too concerned, and I'll show you here, because in the end I'm going to be able to, let me move this, that one is not really well attached, so I will color this. So my thought process is, okay, I don't have many silhouettes, right, to play with, so I'm just going to color them. It's going to be fine. I'm totally sure it's going to be fine. Okay, and I'll show you here the first one I did, and that was one of the reasons why I end up deciding to make a little happier, brighter card. Now, I always save my grid paper when I am blending. I mean, I save it and then I will use it for blending. So that's what we're going to do. So I saved this one for a little bit. This one's a little bit rebellious, so everything seems to be doing okay. I'm going to turn these around, and I am going to go ahead and, there we go. Good enough. Now, I want to say this. If you have a mat that is glass, you don't really need grit paper for this. Unfortunately, in my case, I have these really, really awesome lights on top that are really awesome, but they are definitely bright and creates this awful glare. So I have to cover the glare with the paper. It was actually, I was trying to save, when I got my glass made, to save paper, and it works really well in general, but it does not work as well in the videos. Anyway, so I have here again Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and Blackberry Bliss. And as you guys can tell, I have them organized in a way that I can use them in order. And I'm going to bring the blending brushes. And yes, I have a blending brush for every color. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I am trying to get a blending brush for every color. Because it works just so much better. So I think it's just so much easier. And so I have them in here. I'm going to put them far away from each other because they tend to make mayhem, and you know, it's in the end blending, and this gets pretty messy. Okay, I'm going to start with this is Daffodil Light. I was telling on that video that I made that day, I was saying that I really, really like better the smaller blending brushes. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. The smaller blending brushes are, I think, are better. And my video is jumping, which is why I'm a little bit distracted, but I don't know what's happening. So hopefully we can work this out. Okay, so I have my Daffodil Light. I'm going to move that. With my Daffodil Light, not necessarily has to be softly around the circle. Okay, so there you go. It's around the circle. The circle in the end is going to be our sun. So it's going to be a little, we're going to use a little bit more of the Daffodil Light in the sun later. But our butterfly is going to be finished at that point in time, colored. Okay, so softly around the circle, quote unquote, our sun, and I don't know what happened there. That's a disaster. We'll try to figure out what happened. So I guess it's one of the, maybe, I don't know. Well, we'll try to cover that. And now I'm going to bring the peach pie. Peach pie is such a beautiful color, guys. But it is a strong color, so be mindful when you're using it. You have to go kind of do these, right? Again, if you're using the glass mat, just use your glass mat. In my case, I'm trying here to use my paper to take some of that color, and then I'm coming down here and on the top. So you guys can see I don't have a whole lot of space in here for all the colors I want to use, but we're going to try to use them all. The next one is Petunia Pop, back what I was saying, super bright. So I always start there, right? And I have seen people using blocks to do that. I'm going to say this is what it doesn't work well for me, and it is because then you have an extra thing that you have to clean. And so again, it's just not really good for me. And you guys can tell I didn't do a really super good job here blending. And I think that's one of the reasons why I prefer the smaller blending brushes. We're going to have to fix some of this together. And then I have my Blackberry Bliss. So the Blackberry Bliss is going to be the one towards the very, very end. Right? And so we are going to work really well on these. Now these Blackberry Bliss needs to be a little darker, right? Like the goal is it's getting darker, it's the night. Well, that was not supposed to happen. But I am going to align back again and put it in there. And there we go. And back in here. Okay, so as you guys can tell, I rearranged it. So I'm going to bring back my Petunia Pop, guys. And now we're going to go with the Petunia Pop over that Blackberry Bliss. And guys, yes, your hands are going to get a little on the dirty side, which is fine. I'm pretty sure you don't. Guys, can you see this? This is not working for me. I hope we can fix this. And I'm going to bring my peach pie, and I am hoping that this peach pie is going to really work for us in making that blend, in working all that blending there, because that is not really good looking, right? So I'm bringing back my Petunia. I don't know what is happening with this brush. It's probably very old brush. There's nothing it just happens, and I'm okay with things like that happening because it's real life, right? I like, and I have gotten so many good feedback about people liking the fact that I leave all my mistakes, and that that things happen and that you can try to work it out. And I am very, very glad about that, because I don't consider myself a professional at all. I am not. And so this is our sunset. I'm going to bring my Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to go with the Daffodil Delight with a little bit more strength. Okay. And okay, so now we have this gorgeous sunset. I'm going to close these guys because I know you know that most of the time that means disaster is about to happen. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my little piece of my chamois here and clean my fingers for a little bit, because definitely you get your fingers all dirty, all inky, and I just want to not have that in my card. It does not need it. And of course the last step is removing these and putting them out of the way so we don't have a mess. Now I'm going to remove these from here and you guys can tell how that looks. Now I'm going to, like I told you guys, I'm going to save this because it's really important. I don't want to have to be cutting and cutting and cutting. Okay, so I'm bringing this back out. And that broke. And this one back out. So if I had the bottom line, this is very important because I know you didn't get to see like the whole resist embossing piece. You will see it in here in a minute. But the whole point here is that you can see now that like you can see my darker, my embossed, black embossed areas, right? And it goes over the, you know, these embossed image, and the image stays, like it doesn't blend away. So I'm going to remove these. This one's going to be fun, and this is where you're going to see a little bit of that embossing, of that, more of that resist embossing. So I am going to bring the Daffodil Delight, right? And I am going to go with the daffodil. I'm not concerned about the butterfly because we're going to color it in like some really darker colors. So with these, and not adding any other or any more ink, I am just going over the sun. We're because it's the sun, right? But the sun, when you see the sun, is not really that colorful, right? It is always a whole lot more kind of lighter. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, and I'm going to bring a little bit of the peach pie, and I'm going to try to smooth out really softly. So I'm putting a little bit of peach pie here in the sun, because in the end the sun it does not look one solid color, right? So there we go. That is our little piece. My video keeps jumping and it's driving me insane. Okay, so we're back. I had to go stop the video and do some things to see if the jumping stopped. So let's cross our fingers and hopefully it did. So a couple of things I want to note in here, and that is that we have this area here. Let me bring this back up here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I did not do the best of jobs aligning our pieces, and so you can see some white lining around it. We're going to work on that after this is colored, which is the easiest way to fix that. Now we're going to do some coloring. Let me bring the colors I have chosen. So I've chosen the Mossy Meadow combo and the light old olive, and this is not going to be a masterpiece of coloring because it's, you know, the coloring is not the main point in here. Now I do want to bring to your attention where the light is coming. So the light is right there, right? So this area here should be a little darker. Lowering here should be, but this area should be a little darker because in the end the sun will be hitting this side and not necessarily that other side, right? So I'm just making that. This one seems to be like looking at the sun, so this top should be very light. And then I'm going to go on top in here. I'm going to bring your attention to the fact that this leaf is kind of like on top of that other leaf. So I'm bringing my dark Mossy Meadow here so I can color that. Okay, and now I'm bringing, look at that, I had another little leaf that I've forgotten. In here, kind of the same thing, like these are all very, like the sun is hitting them, so I'm just putting all the light, the darker area on the lower part of the leaves. And now I'm going to bring my mossy meadow. I'm going to use this side. So this is light mossy meadow, and we're just going to extend, go on top of that moss, of the dark mossy meadow and a little bit beyond, and that's what we're going to do with all of it, right? And here it's going to be a little bit more noticeable. Okay, I'm going to go back to the brush. So usually I don't like to use the brush very much. Because my perception is that sometimes it just leads, you kind of have like a lot of ink on them, and I feel that it kind of bleeds easier. But we're going to do that here, and that's fine. And I'm doing that because once you emboss or heat emboss something, it raises, like it now has more dimension. It's not a flat line, and so it's harder to reach to the paper. Not like super hard, but it's harder. So I have now my old olive, and we're going to use the old olive here to go on top of all the area, all the mossy meadow combo colors. And so that way we have the feel that, you know, these are definitely lighter, and then there's some not dimension, but you have some perspective, right? Some things are further and closer to the sun, and some things are further away, okay? And that's what we're doing. And this one I'm going to go over, and I'm going to like really go over, and then when I get to the top, I'm actually just going to do one pass, so it's even a little lighter, okay? Now let me show you. I don't want this to be super bright, shiny and bright, because in the end we're having the sun in the back. So truthfully, what would work is we could barely see the colors in here, which is why for the flowers I've chosen the Blackberry Bliss combo and the dark fresh freesia, and we're going to start with the dark Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to go, guys, I know this is not a coloring class, but so this petal is on top of that petal, this petal is in the front of all of them, so that should be the lighter one, and this is another petal, so this front petal is definitely on top of these two, and this is the further away petal, and I'm just going all around this because this one should be darker because it will be behind the other ones. And now I'm going to do more or less the same thing that we do here. So that what that means is when you're coloring, you really need to pay attention to how things are and what presents in front of and what should be further away. And now we're going to bring this, and it's a little bit easier to do in this bigger one because it's easier to see, but this is right here the front petal, okay? And so that one should be a little lighter, although these in here, these two are receiving the sun, right? So that means that that one in here in the back is really dark. Okay, now I'm going to bring the light Blackberry Bliss, and we are going to go over and above that area that we color. And I'm leaving a whole lot of space in here for the fresh freesia, right? And no space in there really for the fresh freesia. And then we're going to do that, and I'm leaving a lot of space in there for the fresh freesia. And in spite of the fact that this is in the front, I'm moving that a little further up, and then we're going to leave a little bit of space in there. And finally, I'm going to go with the Blackberry dot. This is the light Darkberry Bliss, and I just left a tiny bit of there for fresh freesia. And this is the fresh freesia. Let me put that out of the way. And so if we're going to color, and because fresh freesia and Blackberry Bliss are really two different tones, I'm going to go again all over it with the fresh freesia because that will help a little bit to make them more homogeneous in the same color, like they're coming from the same tone kind of setting. Okay, there we go. So that's all we're doing. If you wanted, you can even play further with this. I am not going to do that. It just gets complicated, and this is not a coloring class, right? This is just showing you kind of what we would do to make this beautiful sunset and the flowers in it. And now it really looks much darker, and the sun really takes, or the blending really takes place. I mean, precedence is what I want to say. Now let's go ahead and color our butterfly. And for that, I know I have like a really weird wacky color combination. So I'm bringing my dark, this is the dark Blackberry Bliss, and I am going to use as much as possible the bullet nib, because like I said, it's just harder, right? But so here we go again. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to put Blackberry Bliss in a couple of places, not in all of them. I'm just choosing out of the complete blue what I want, but I am really paying attention to which areas are quote unquote the darker areas, right? So, or should have some, are further away. Now this is dark Cajun Craze, and I am not craze, guys. And I'm bringing so a little bit of these and going over that one, and just a little bit of it in here, but I am kind of focusing on that. So putting this darker color here below, I mean, yeah, on this wing, because this wing is on top of it. This color is going to be mostly dark because it's a really, really little corner. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to look to the areas where there is, they are overlapping, and that's where we're going to put our Cajun Craze. I'm going to put a little bit of Cajun Craze here because, again, this one is on the front. And a little bit in here and a tiny bit in there. And I like surrounding that wing. And most of that got all Cajun Crazed. I'm not going to use the pumpkin pie. I think it's going to be too much. Hopefully this works. So I'm going to bring peach pie. And yeah, I think it's working. Because the peach pie is a very, very interesting color. It is very yellow. So let me see. It's like a combination of yellow and orange, right? It's got like a color combo of them. So I'm going to bring this. So I want you to pay attention to something, and I'll show you here in a second what I mean. And then this one, and it will go all over. So you can tell there. So the embossing, especially when you're coloring black for obvious reasons, it does like kind of, see, it kind of colors. It's hard to see, but you can totally see that it was kind of blackish, and you will see it much clearer here with the Daffodil Delight. So what I want you to do, guys, is kind of pay a lot of attention. Try not to go over the white, over the black, sorry. And I'm bringing my brush dip. So it does not have that blackish. And I'll show you up close what I mean here in a minute. So if you just bring, if you just do it slowly and pay attention to where you're putting your pen or your marker, it will make it easier for you to see. But sometimes it will definitely kind of go over, and you will see some of the black, which is not ideal. But it happens. But just if you're mindful about it, you will be able to kind of disguise it. Of course, is rougher with the darker colors. I want to bring your attention to one quick thing. This brush tip is different from my other brush tips, and I'm going to bring the Cajun Craze so you can see. These are two different brush tips, and I have a coloring class where we talked about that in detail. But what I did is I changed the brush to another brand. It's called Ohuhu, and it works really well. Unfortunately, I am a destroyer, guys. I destroy the brushes, and this brush had lasted me a little bit longer, so I think it's worth it because then you extend the life of your markers, and again, that's just worth for me. So let's go back in here, and I'm going to bring, guys, the peach pie, and I still have the peach pie here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to try very quickly, and I am going to use here on the side, I have my glass mat. So I'm going to go in here, and wherever these will match, so you see I'm going to go over with my blending brush with peach. So there. So wherever there is quite enough of the, I think here will work, of the peach pie, so of that orangey color, I am going to make the most, and I am going to use this. And why am I using the peach pie? Well, mainly I think you probably figured that out, and that is because my it's a smaller it's a smaller brush, and so it really works better, and I didn't want to do that, but it did. Okay, so if you guys can tell, I kind of changed a little bit these. Bottom line, don't do what I did, which is not aligning your masks very well. But there's always ways to work this out, and so what I really want to do is I'm going to bring my Petunia Pop again. I'm really scared of this blending brush because for some reason it's really misbehaving today. But I'm going to go with the Petunia Pop all around the corners. Try not to make any more mistakes, right? With the advantage that Petunia Pop really pops. Haha. Our flowers, because it's a similar color, and I'm going to bring a little bit here towards the edge, towards this edge anyways. Okay, and that looks fairly good. I think that even if it has, you can totally see we've managed to disguise that a little bit. Now, you guys know me, I clean right away, guys, right away, because I've learned the hard way that you definitely will struggle with this. Okay, let me bring this back up here so you guys can see closely. So in real life, so from far away you definitely see much darker, but in real life you can see the colors. They are a little darker, so resembling a little bit better that silhouette thing. Let me bring, so you can see what I was telling you. Here's some blackish. I don't like them, prefer that, but that's okay. We're gonna let it be. We're not gonna make anything crazy. And isn't this just absolutely gorgeous? And you can still see a little bit of that line, right? I wouldn't recommend using anything else. I would rather leave it like that. It's a handmade thing, and sometimes it happens. And we're gonna move what I would recommend if you're going to use the Spotlight on Nature is to just take off the branches, not the branches, the stems, because that will totally make it easier. In this corner here, I am seeing the opportunity. Whoa, that was loud. So I'm bringing, this is the Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just really trying to get that. And what I am thinking of doing, shh, don't tell anybody, so I'm bringing a little bit of pencil, and I'm coloring that. Ha! That really worked well. Look how well that looked. Let me bring that back up here. It totally closed that. So this is our pencils, our watercolor pencils. This is the Gorgeous Grape. And so I am going to use this one to color that. And now I'm going to bring the actual, this is the pumpkin pie. And I'm going to see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work. I've never done this. So I'm just telling you guys, sometimes you know, you work out something that will work well. And that does help to kind of perfect those edges. So if you are like me, a little bit on the OCD, use your pencils if you have them. That is working really well, guys. I'm super, super happy about that. I would bring my, so I have lemon lolly here, guys. And it's definitely not a lemon lolly, but all I'm doing, guys, is attaching a little bit. I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight a little bit. I'm not sure you why. I am OCD, but I want you to see. So when I put that peach pie, it kind of really darkened that. And so I am just going to try to ease that out a little bit. Not too concerned, but a little bit of ink does create some magic. And you see how it got a little softened there? So that is nice, and that's cool. I like that. So I'm going to make this corner a little darker with the Daffodil Delight. And yeah, that looks much better. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm going over and over and over and over again. We managed. We still need to color to blend another piece. So I am going to use this. I don't prefer to do that, but we're going to use that one. And we're going to follow the same idea here because this is going to go, okay, let me bring this back up 1 second. These we're going to cut and it's going to go in the different panels. And what we're going to do is we're going to create something for this panel. And this is, I've not talked about measurements today. All those measurements will be down below. Since I'll be editing this video, most likely I'll try to put the measurements in your screen. But yeah, I'm sorry, I've not talked about them a whole lot. I'm gonna bring this. So all I want to do now is bring again all our blending friends. I have to put this far away because I will most likely mess it up. And we're going to start, okay. So I'm going to start with our Daffodil Delight in the middle, just like we did with this, you know, in the other piece. I have to tell you guys, I already ordered some Daffodil Delight. It's okay. This one is really, really bad. And like it or not, I will have to definitely get something else. So let me see. I have Petunia Pop. Here's my peach pie, and for some reason, and here is Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my peach pie. I'm gonna go with it, and I am really going to like push with the peach pie on top. So I really want a little bit of that sun looking there on the top, but not on the bottom. So when I mean sun, I mean the Daffodil Delight. And I'm bringing now the Petunia Pop. And just like we did before, right? We're going to go over this piece and over the other side. Kind of like that. And if you have not done a whole lot of blending, you know that there's a lot that you can correct when you're blending. And so let's go ahead. This is our Blackberry Bliss. And this is the dark stuff. And I'm bringing it to the right side, thankfully. It's not paying a whole lot of attention to what I was doing. And so I'm bringing now peach pie again. And I'm going over all this. Like that. And this is, nope, I need Blackberry Bliss. I need a little bit darker. So I'm moving this. Can you guys tell? It was a little bit darker. So I want to bring a little bit of darker to the edges. And then even here to this edge. And I'm bringing back Petunia Pop. Just kidding. Peach Pie. And going over that. And now I'm going to bring Petunia Pop a little bit just to give this a little bit more of that pinkish look, which I have to say, guys, I really like. Okay, that piece looks really, really amazing. Let's go ahead and now, again, just like we did before, we need to get rid of this. because I am a messy crafter. And I make a lot of mistakes by not taking the proper care with the tools I'm using. So, sorry about my reach there, but they were built regardless. And now I can move that. And guess what I still need to clean? My fingers. Yes. Again, it's taking me a lot of messed up projects to pay attention to those details. Because, you know. Okay, we got this, guys. So this is going to go here. So maybe we can go around the measurements right now. We are going to need, we thought this piece was 8.5 by 5.5. We are going to need 2 pieces that are 1 1/8 by 3 1/8. Right, 2 pieces in here. We're going to need, and this is all in white. So this is my first layer. If you've been here before, I'm a layer person. So I have 2 pieces of white layer that are again 1 1/8 by 3 1/8. Then a center piece here of white layer as well that is 3 by 3 1/4. And then another piece here of white that is going to be 7/8 by 5 3/8. And then we'll have one last piece that we're going to put in here, and that piece is 4 3/4 by 3. Nope, that is not correct. Let me see. Sorry, guys. It is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. The 4 3/4 by 3 is this piece. Okay, and then this piece is 3/4 by 5 1/4. So all the resting layers are 1/8 smaller than our previous than the white. And I always say that I love 8/8, not 8s, very much. It's one of the things I love the most. If you're not going to use another color or another layer, then I would say you can use a 1/4 of an inch if you prefer. But to me, I would rather use, I'm going to hold that flat for a second. I would rather use 2 layers. Okay, now we're going to bring our beautiful piece in here and we're going to cut it. Oh, how scary. So let me let me really pay attention to what I'm doing. So this piece needs to be cut at 1. Okay, so this is 1. There's 1. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to cut these at 1. Okay. And so what we're creating is a continuity of our image in this step card. And I think it really looks good. So I'm going to bring one of these and we're going to add this piece to a white layer because I have all already pre-cut. Of course, if you've been here before, I like pre-cutting because, you know, I don't think the cards, so 2 things I'm going to say. The first one is I really like to make kind of over decorated cards. Oh, that one is not good cut. Oh, this is so sad, guys. I made a bad calculation in here. So obviously we're missing. Yep. Okay. So I made a mistake. We're going to try to figure out how to fix this. These measures, so I guess what you need to do, we cut one piece and instead of turning around and cutting the other piece at that other, I made a mistake when I aligned that. I did not align that correctly, obviously. So this piece needs to measure 2 3/4. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around, 2 3/4, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, and so cut it in order. That was my mistake. Cut it in order. I'm going to bring these, I'm going to adhere these to the panel it should go to, which is this one. This still looks so gorgeous though. And we'll have to figure out what to do with that one. which is we're going to align as best as we can, and we are going to still use that piece because obviously that is a rough mistake to make. I'm pretty sure if you were watching the video and I was not aligning correctly, you were like, no, Maria, no, you're messing it up. I know, I was. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do something that I have not had to do yet. Today is the first day, which is good. It's okay. I'm going to bring my washi tape. Here goes, right? I'm going to align these as best as I can all together, making sure it all fits where it needs to fit, right? There it goes. And I am going to glue this, and I can still see a little bit of space in there. See, it didn't work. Oh, because this is got glue. That's why it doesn't work. Maybe we can just put it in here. Okay, back. Let's do this together, guys. So these P's, it's an eighth or smaller, right? So I'm gonna look in here at the top and at the bottom. Make sure. Let me bring this back up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Making sure that this is kind of an eighth on the top, an eighth on the bottom, and a little bit of an eighth there. And so I'm going to bring this one next, and I'm going to align this in here. I know it's not perfect, guys. It's not ideal. This should not have happened. I'm going to bring my washi tape still, and let me bring my take your pick. We're going to put some glue in there, and then we're going to go on the bottom. Take your pick again. Yes, you're seeing, sorry. And then you're going to put some glue in there. Okay, now I'm going to remove this, and I am going to push, and I'm going to use my take your pick to push. So I'm pushing towards the picture, towards there, sorry, not like that, but that way I can make sure that there is hopefully no gap, right? But at least if there is a gap, at least it's small and smaller and smaller. And I'm going to pull this up again. Take your pick, because this side is not completely dry. And so I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here. That was not a whole lot. That's a bubble. And now I can still move. See? Okay, so I'm going to hold this for one quick second. And I'm going to bring this back up here. And although you can't see it, you can barely see it. So we made what Louise, one of the people that come to my lives, she is so funny. She called it surgery. And this was quite some surgery that we just performed on our card. Okay, so now let's put this card together. I'm going to bring this back in here. Let's see, we're going to start with the easy one, and that's why I have this expanded. It's much easier for me to do this expanded. Of course, you have to do whatever is easier for you, but I don't know why I find it so much easier. And look how beautiful that looks against the black. I love how it looks against the black. So I'm going to bring this one in here, and I'm going to get that in there. And you can't see that you cut it. It's pretty amazing, guys. This one get glued in there because there was glue before, but we're going to put it in there, no problem. And we're going to glue this in here. And finally, we're going to bring like the piece of La Resistance, which is this, the middle one with the beautiful colored butterfly. And we're going to center it in there, and we're going to glue. Okay, so a couple of things I'm seeing in my little butterfly. So I'm bringing back my, I'm making sure my Daffodil Delight blending brush, and I am going to go over with it all around. Why? Because I'm really seeing some of those like darker areas, not darker, blacker areas, and I just want to make sure that it works well. Okay, and I think that looks much better now. Oops. Okay, we got this. Do you want to build the piece in here? You can totally build a piece in here. I have not thought about that. I am usually the one that will fill it up, so we're going to do that. So we need a 1 1/8 by 7/8 of an inch piece. Okay, so I'm getting the one and I'm cutting that there. Okay, this is not really well cut. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's not perfectly cut, so I'm just going to remove that and cut now. Okay, there it is. So we have 7/8 and another 7/8. And I'm going to say this out loud, guys. I think we are all very used to use the left side of the trimmer, which makes total sense, but it's so much easier when you use the right side for some areas. And so what I have, guys, I have these, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these at, has to be at 1. So I'm going to cut a piece in here and actually, yeah, this side at 1 because it's where I don't have my notations, right? And then all I need here, so this is at 1, all I need here is, I think I'm going to go with the way I saw it initially because now I was not thinking clearly. But that's fine, that's fine. I think I'm going to go with this side. So I'm going to make a little lighter there. So I'm going to make 1 there. So I'm going to cut there at, we said 3/4 of an inch, right? And then the other one at 3/4 of an inch. And it's not following the same, kind of like the same design, but the truth is, let's really be honest, this is the backing, and so we're just doing this to put some fun in the card, but that's all. We don't need to really do this. So because I have like a darker area, so whatever chose the sun, or not the sun, the lighter area, that is going to go in this corner, okay? Because that, I put this one in here, you know, that's where it would be. Let's face it, right? Like the sun, this would be lighter. And same with this one, right? Although this is lighter, these we're going to put towards this corner. In this one, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but we're still going to do it because there's not a whole lot of difference between the colors in here. So it should have been this way, but I didn't think of that when I was cutting. So there's that. And I'm going to bring this way. Okay. And it, again, this is just a fun decoration. Nobody's really going to see it, but if they extend it, then there's that. Okay. Lots of work, guys. Lots of work. I'm going to bring this piece and I'm going to bring our beautiful, I forgot the name, butterfly. And let's see, I'm bringing gray granite, guys, real quick. We are going to get, and we're going to stamp these front in here. Okay, and we are going to do some really quick. I should have brought basic. Yeah, that's going to stay there. I should have brought really smoky slate or black, but I didn't want to, so there's that. And we're going to do some extra super quick coloring using the same colors we did before. I'm putting these right here so you guys can see. Remember, I had used my Blackberry Bliss in this, and because this is so light, I'm going to go ahead and color the body of the butterfly with the Blackberry Bliss, and it's going to cover it all. And that looks fine. I like that actually very much. And then I'm going to bring a little bit there on the top. And I think I'm going to make this one. Again, there's no rhyme or reason here, guys. I just like it. And the last one we did is this. And in this one, I'm actually, yeah, this is the Cajun Craze. I am using only the nibs because, like I said earlier, it's so much safer. I'm bringing the Cajun Craze all there because this wing is on top of that one. A little bit here in the back. Just exactly what we did with the other one. This does not take a whole lot of time, right? And then always on top and beyond. That way we make that Blackberry Bliss a little bit of a darker color. Very light here with the Cajun Craze. And then right here. And right here. And then right above or right on top of here. Now I'm bringing back, I'm going to bring directly the peach pie again. Hopefully this looks as good in here. No, I think we need the pumpkin pie. So this is pumpkin pie, dark pumpkin pie. And that is, I mean, I'm just going over what we've done a little bit. All I'm making is easy and that, making easy that transition between the peach pie and the Cajun Craze, because those are two different colors, definitely. And that's what we're doing here, is just easing that up. And there we go. And now we're going to bring the, I just got myself all colored peach pie. And hopefully this works. I think it's going to work. Okay. That looks really cute. It looks really beautiful. It's just a really interesting color combination, guys. But I think it really looks gorgeous. And if you notice, I'm really making an effort to blend, especially with the pumpkin pie. Not so much with the Cajun Craze. Okay. So there's no further space there for our last one, which is a Daffodil Delight. And here we go. Now with the Daffodil Delight, I am definitely going over and beyond everything. So on top of everything, pretty much. And I'm trying very hard to make this like blend completely, so that's why I go over everything, so it kind of looks like just one direct blend. The truth is, I could have colored these beautiful butterfly in different colors and make it very I don't know, very artistic, but like I said, that is not the reason we're doing this. We're not coloring. This is not the most important thing. Sorry, guys. So this is the most important part of these is not the coloring. So I'm not going to worry about it. And so I'm going to bring that back in here. I'm going to bring a big thanks. And I'm going to have my Blackberry Bliss. And so this one just says thanks. This belongs to the same stamp set. So Spotlight on Nature. I always have to do this so I can see better where this goes. And hopefully I'm stamping this as straight as possible. Not bad for a Sunday. Today's Sunday. I'm filming these on a Sunday. And that last one, I'm going to bring still Blackberry Bliss. And I already have cut the smallest of the decal rectangles. And hopefully this fits. It fits. And I'm bringing my Blackberry Bliss in here. And I'm going to stamp. And again, going up top on my tippy toes, hoping this will stand straight. And I think it's not perfect, but we can totally live with it. And let's go ahead and clean that. You guys know I always clean my stamps as soon as I use them. The truth is, otherwise I may forget. So it's got to do with that a whole lot more than anything else. And so I am bringing my dear friend, and I don't know if you have a crop-a-dry thingy. If you do, that's wonderful. If not, just whatever helps to make a little hole. And I'm just going to make a little hole in here. Well, where do I want it? I think I'm going to make it there on the corner. And I'm going to bring the petunia pot ribbon. And we're just going to get these through there in no time. It's just going to bring a little bit of fun to this card. I was not sure where I wanted this. Now we know where we wanted it, and it's right there on that corner that I messed up. So, just in case, guys. Now you can see that kind of went. Whoops! Sometimes it just does. Now I want to cut well. There it goes. It gets frayed. If you probably know this. Most of the people that come here, you can bring a little piece of a little bit of like maybe a lighter or something, and you can burn those edges, and that will just work well. And so I'm bringing these friend right here, kind of right there, so you can see my mistake, but not so much, right? And now we're going to glue this in here, and I'm putting glue really only on the bottom. And that's how that's going to look. So this will open like this, and you can still see my mistake, but it does look fairly decent. Now we're going to open this, and we're going to bring our other, or our inside piece, and we're going to add this in here. And there you go. So, ta-da! There you go. So let's go ahead and look for some beautiful gems. So obviously, I have a couple of possibilities in here. These ones may be a good idea. So these are the 2023 2025 in colors from last catalog. I'm not sure if they're still available. So this is Moody Mauve. But let me show you this, guys. Like, these Moody Mauve really looks good. Maybe, well, there, against these, because it's not as dark as the other one. And I'm going to put this one in here. So that's the first thing. I'm going to cover that mistake I made. I'm going to bring a bigger one, maybe. Well, that was pretty rebellious, huh? There we go, we got it. So one in here towards this corner, and I have to take off the, this green thing that you get to use in your, take your pick for whatever reason. It was really, really rough in there. And I'm going to bring a middle one. So this one has actually two sizes. And I'm just going to put it right here next to this one. And that's it, guys. What do you guys think? I am really liking this card. It's very, very bright, very, very colorful. It's definitely a sunset to watch, right? Like, that was quite a sunset. And so let me put this back in here so you guys can see the whole card. There it goes. So it will stand like that. And then when you open it, you will have that beautiful butterfly in there. I have done these cards and actually decorate all the inside and also decorate part of the back. Like, I've gone all the extra mile, but I think that these like this is something that you can totally do. So I am going to bring, sorry guys, I'm going to bring another one because I can see a little thingy in here. And what this is really the top, that part of the butterfly, but it does not make a lot of sense. It's not connected, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put this one there. And now we need another one. And I don't know if you've heard this. You probably have, because I think everybody says that you need to use odd numbers. I don't know if that's really true. Okay, these are pretty rebellious. But I'm not sure where to put this one. But because we have that one there, I'm thinking somewhere in there. Oh, you know what? Let me move this. I'm going to move this to where that one is. So we have 5 all over, and they really look super cute in real life. Let me bring this back up in here for you to see up close. So they really bring up those yellows. And this is the first card I made as just, I really wanted to practice my idea. So this is more at night. This is in the moonlight. No mistakes, as you can tell. Mainly because I made a big panel and I cut it, so I just worked as much as I could to make it work well, look well. And so this is the one I made. So instead, you can see the moon, and you can tell there's like some extra ink in there. I blending a little bit, and then the inside kind of have the same butterfly, because the concept of the butterfly is more or less the same, even if they're colored differently. So there you go, two ideas, the sunset and the moon. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're here, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments which one you like best, and other applications of embossing resist that you've used in the past. And again, I do hope, guys, that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be seeing you soon, hopefully. Okay, many blessings to you all, and again, have a wonderful rest of your day.